Warning, what you're about to hear may be considered disturbing. You are now within minutes of horror because the true crime story you are about to hear takes place in Medicine Hat, Alberta. The victims of this tragic crime I am about to discuss are the Richardson family, Deborah, Mark, and their 9-year-old son, who all lost their lives in a very brutal murder, and it's unfathomable who the prime suspect ended up being, as it was the Richardson's 12-year-old daughter, Jasmine Richardson, and her 23-year-old boyfriend, who believed he was a 300-year-old werewolf. His name is Jeremy Steinke. Jasmine was known to be a bright, bubbly, and funny girl, but this all changed when she met Jeremy. Becoming enamored in Jeremy's lifestyle, Jasmine would instantly turn to the goth lifestyle, herself becoming a member of a website called vampirefreaks.com, and wear dark makeup, appearing much older than what she actually was. Jeremy's own upbringing was not as grand as Jasmine's was. His mother was an alcoholic. Her partner used to abuse not only Jeremy's mother, but Jeremy as well. Jeremy was also bullied in school. By the time he met Richardson, Jeremy suffered from depression, making an attempt to end his life before meeting Jasmine. At the age of 13, to deal with all the bad in his life, Jeremy developed a persona wearing a vial of blood around his neck, claiming to be a 300-year-old werewolf. Over the next 10 years, Jeremy continued this persona to the point that this belief became a fact to Jeremy, even influencing Jasmine that he may indeed be a werewolf. Once Jasmine's parents, Mark and Deborah, found out about the relationship, they absolutely forbade Jasmine from ever seeing Jeremy. This is where things took a tragic turn for the worse, as Jasmine Richardson and Jeremy Steinke were in love. Fuming in anger over Jasmine's parents not approving of the relationship, Jeremy went to his blogging platform and wrote, "Payment. My lover's rents are totally unfair. They say they really care. They don't know what's going on. They just assume. Their throats I want to slit. Finally, there shall be silence. Their blood shall be payment." But come to find out, it was actually Jasmine who first came up with the plan to end the lives of her family. In an email, she told Jeremy she had a plan. In the email, it said, "It begins with me killing them and ends with me living with you," she wrote. Jeremy was very fond of the idea, saying, "Well, I love your idea, but we need to be a little more creative with the details and stuff." Jasmine reportedly even told her friends that she was going to end the lives of her family, but they did not believe her. The night before the murders, the duo watched Oliver Stone's 1994 film Natural Born Killers. Then on April 23, 2006, at her parents' home on a quiet residential street in Medicine Hat, Jasmine Richardson and her boyfriend followed through with their massacre. The next day, a neighbor told reporters that a young boy, a friend of Jasmine's little brother, thought he saw a body through the window of the Richardson home. He ran home and told his mother, who then called the police. Inspector Brent Secondiak arrived on the scene and looked into a basement window where he saw at least one person on the ground. He called other officers for backup, thinking they may be able to save someone in the house, but nobody inside was alive. Mark Richardson, Deborah Richardson, and their 8-year-old son had all been brutally murdered, and one family member, the 12-year-old daughter of the dead couple, was missing from the scene. The inspector did not even think it was in the realm of possibility she would be one of the accused. She was believed to have been kidnapped. Piecing the evidence together, the police found that Deborah Richardson was the first to go, after being stabbed at least a dozen times. Mark Richardson fought back with a screwdriver, but he was stabbed to death as well. Both parents were found in the basement. Upstairs, in his blood-soaked bed, the youngest Richardson had his throat slashed open. Fearing Jasmine Richardson was a victim too, the police released a statement that said they were searching for the Richardson's daughter regarding a serious family matter and sent out an Amber Alert. It wasn't until investigators recovered evidence from her room and locker did she go from victim to the prime suspect. A trail of digital evidence led to Jasmine and Jeremy, mainly consisting of email exchanges between the two. They were tracked down and arrested in Jeremy's truck. It was indicated that Jeremy killed Richardson's parents downstairs while she was upstairs in her brother's room. Witnesses testified that the two had admitted to the murders. One witness recounted Jeremy saying that the victims had been gutted like a fish. At her 2007 trial, Jasmine Richardson, who was only identified as JR at the time because of her age, pleaded not guilty. She said she had hypothetical conversations about killing her family, but didn't intend on ever going through with it. Jasmine was found guilty by a jury for 3 counts of first-degree murder and given the maximum sentence for a youth, 6 years in jail, followed by 4 years of supervision in the community. She was 13 by the time she was convicted. Jeremy Steinke was convicted of 3 counts of first-degree murder as well. As he was 25 at the time of the conviction, he was sentenced to life in prison without parole for 25 years. The couple exchanged letters from jail promising to marry. None of those letters expressed guilt or remorse. Jasmine Richardson underwent extensive rehabilitation and treatment after she was sentenced. Psychiatric assessments revealed she was diagnosed with conduct disorder and oppositional defiant disorder in 2016, at just a year younger than her partner in crime was when they committed the homicides. Richardson was freed from the criminal justice system. Other than that, not much else is known about Jasmine Richardson, as there is no current pictures of her, but the story was a realization for me as a father of a young daughter to always monitor who they talk to or who is influencing them. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like content like this, I do post true crime every Tuesday and paranormal every Wednesday. Please subscribe and hit that notification button, as you are now within minutes of horror.